As I'm building out my home streaming and YouTube recording setup, one thing that's been missing is an overhead camera mount. So when Neewer sent me their overhead rig and claimed it could hold a max load of 12 kilograms, which is 26 pounds for those of you watching on my side of town, I was a little bit skeptical. I honestly expected this to be a little bit flimsy, maybe good for a smartphone or a small mirrorless camera, but definitely not capable of handling serious weight. But after setting it up and testing it though, I was pleasantly surprised. Now, spoiler alert, this thing held a 15-pound sandbag without skipping a beat. Now, quick disclaimer, Neewer sent this to me for review, but I'm not being paid to say anything specific, and all opinions are my own. If I like it, I'll tell you why, and if there's something that I don't like, I'll tell you that too. So when does an overhead rig actually come in handy? If you do product demonstrations, tutorials, or top-down shots for content creation, it's kind of a must. Up until now, whenever I wanted an overhead shot, I either had to rig a tripod at an awkward angle or cheat it by mounting my Osmo Pocket 3 to a ball head. It worked, but it was never ideal, especially when trying to shoot larger objects. I wanted a proper solution that wouldn't take up floor space or require setting it up and tearing down a bulky C-stand every single time that I needed a top-down shot. I'm always cautious with equipment like this because you're trusting it to suspend your expensive camera over something else expensive, and if something fails, that's an even pricier problem. But right away, nothing about this felt cheap. The hand crank for the clamp is plastic, but it feels solid enough that I can tighten everything down without worrying about it breaking. Now, setup was a breeze. I had it fully assembled in about 3 minutes, and if I wasn't messing around with the unboxing and everything, I probably could have had it done in 90 seconds. It's essentially 2 uprights that clamp onto your desk, each with nearly 4 inches of clearance, so it works on surfaces that are up to 3.5 inches thick. Then, the crossbar secures in place with top mounting adapters. The package also includes a super clamp, a phone clamp, and a small ball head for different mounting options. One minor issue that I ran into was clearance from the edge of the clamp to where the stopper lands. My table has metal bars right on the edge, so I couldn't get the stopper to fall inside of them. That's just something specific to my setup though, and if your desk doesn't have anything in the way, you won't have an issue. Even with that, the rig worked really well. Once the uprights are clamped on, the adjustable crossbar locks into place. I really like the sturdy aluminum build, and being able to mount an LED light or two makes lighting your subject so much easier. Switching between the phone clamp and my Canon R8 was quick and easy, but the real test was weight capacity. While I wouldn't recommend mounting a massive cinema camera on this, my R8 with a lens was no problem at all. The crossbar is rated for 5 kilograms of load capacity, that's about 11 pounds, while the uprights are rated for 12 kilograms or just over 26 pounds. That means that I'd feel pretty confident mounting a mirrorless camera and lens while also attaching a light panel or two to the mounting points. To push it even further, I tested it with a 15-pound sandbag on the crossbar, and at no point did I see it bowing or showing signs of failure. That's a solid test for what most people would actually use this for, and let's be real, most of the time it's only going to have about 5 pounds on it at most. The uprights have labeled notches so you can ensure each side is perfectly level. Just make sure that you don't loosen them too much. I made that mistake and thought that I had broken it when I took a minute to get the twist locks back into place. That's more of a user error than a design flaw, and worth noting. I also wouldn't adjust the height while gear is mounted because you do have to wiggle it back and forth to lower the uprights. Maybe it smooths out over time with more use, but it's something to be aware of. Max height on the uprights is about 4 feet, and the crossbar can extend to 4 feet wide. Though keep in mind that you'll be able to support more weight if it's not fully extended. The minimum height and width are about 2 feet. So this is what it looks like with a full frame Canon R8 using a 28mm prime lens. And this tabletop, if you measure the depth, is coming out to about 14 inches across. So that means that if you want to be able to hide some of this area back here, see how it's kind of picking up the wall and the window that's behind my desk, you probably want to be somewhere in the neighborhood of maybe 18 to 24 inches of depth on your tabletop if you're trying to do these overhead shots. But as you can see here, it gives me a lot of room to play with still. I've got my Canon C70 here with a 24 to 70 on it, and I've got room to demonstrate and go over a product. I really like that I can mount this 200-watt light to the top mounting point, and if I bounce it off the white ceiling, it just gives me so much light here. I'm at maybe 50%, and it's plenty of light to light this tabletop and make a perfectly good-looking shot. The height is at its lowest possible height, and that's giving me plenty of room to hold my Canon R8 with this prime lens on it, and it gives me room to demonstrate. I can still keep some of my products off to the side if I was going to bring something else in. I can simply jump over, I can grab it from out of frame, slide this out, and now I've got a new product that I can bring into my shot, and I can start talking about this is a new PTZ camera. So I can start demonstrating this product quite well and quite easily and still get a really nice, pretty overhead top-down shot. Something else that's really fun about having a mount like this, because you have these uprights on either side, is if you've got another magic arm like I do here, I can loosen this guy up really fast, and I can go ahead and just kind of mount it on the side. And this is going to give me some more freedom to get a different angle or maybe even a side shot with my phone. So I can clip my phone right into this, and then I can use this ball head and just kind of change up where it's angled at. And I can slide this up or down, so I can really put this anywhere on the frame and just get a second camera angle on whatever I'm working with down here on my tabletop. I always check Amazon reviews before even considering recommending a product, and this one sits right at a 4.6 stars out of 5 with 145 ratings. Based on my own testing, I can see why it's sturdy, well built, and delivers on what it promises. Overall, if you're looking for a space-saving overhead rig for product shots, tutorials, or live streaming, this one checks the boxes. It's compact, it's easy to set up, and strong enough to handle most mirrorless cameras. Just keep in mind your desk layout when mounting it, and be careful when adjusting the height with gear attached to it. And if you're wondering why it's not on my main streaming and recording desk, it's no fault of the rig. I simply just have too much stuff between my multiple monitors, camera, teleprompter, and more. I could probably make it work, but I'm happy having a separate recording station for my overhead views. Now, if you're interested in picking one up, I've got a link down below in the description, and every purchase helps support the channel at no extra cost to you. Let me know in the comments if you have any questions, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more gear reviews. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.